All right, so the Sharks played in their fourth preseason game. Obviously, this game was following the one I went to. They played in Anaheim against the Ducks, and the Sharks got the 3-1 victory. And I think now, obviously, 4 games into the preseason, it's pretty clear to see who, of these young players mostly shining are the ones that will be mostly present. Obviously, the lineups and stuff are getting set now. And the guys that, the roster changes are also being set. Guys like that we know will be sent down to the Barracuda, or I don't know, something else will happen to him. So yeah, the Sharks got a goal from Ryan Merkley, who's been playing pretty well all preseason. And he got definitely a lot of help. A lot of assists were given in this game. Eklund got an assist again. I mean, he's had an assist in almost every game in the preseason. LeBanc got a goal, and Jeffrey Trucon-Viel got a goal as well. James Reimer was in net. He did pretty good with a .960 save percentage. Obviously, coming off a loss to the LA Kings, that was pretty good to see. And he was the sole goalie for the Sharks. For Anaheim, John Gibson didn't do super well in net. It is the preseason, though, obviously. Their only goal came from Benoit Olivier Gaux, and he got that only goal. But, yeah, I mean, the Sharks played pretty good. They scored a goal in every period, which was good to see. Obviously it's the preseason, and the Sharks obviously don't really have high, expectations per se, but I mean, it's good to see young guys that are going to be, in the lineup for the better half of the future and whatnot score and be present in the lineup. And we're going to have 2 more preseason games, one against the Ducks at home and then one against the Golden Knights at home before we open up the season against the Jets, which should be pretty interesting. I'm pretty, stoked about the start of the season. But, it was good to see the Sharks win. James Reimer, I hope he can be that alpha goalie that we need, that, Martin Jones was when, the Sharks were good. And, obviously Reimer has a history of being good with, save percentages over 900. And, he was on a winning team, the Carolina Hurricanes. So I think there's a lot of, possibility. We also have Adin Hill, which, that goaltending tandem is not, looked upon very highly, but I think it's very capable of being, a great goaltending tandem. If Adin Hill can do what he's expected of and James Reimer can stay consistent, I think the goaltending tandem will be good, and that was obviously a big issue. I mean, the Sharks last year, they were bad, but they weren't terrible. They weren't Buffalo Sabres terrible. They were at some points in the season like 1 point out of a playoff spot, and albeit their division wasn't super hard, I guess besides Colorado and Vegas, the 2 other spots were kind of up for grabs, and it ended up being St. Louis and Minnesota. But there were points where the Sharks were ahead of St. Louis, and it was the games they would lose that would push them back was because of poor defense and poor goaltending. And that's why I think guys that are younger, like Mario Ferraro on defense, Knizev and other guys that are just good at defense and stuff like that, and then obviously the goaltending, having them put in work and be successful is a big factor in the Sharks, winning. And I think that would have probably helped them a lot last year. But yeah, Braska got himself noticed in the game. The lines look good. They all look good. I like the way the Sharks played. And I think, we'll see what happens against the Ducks next game, because that'll be 2 in a row against the Ducks, who obviously were the only team in the division behind us last season, which I think were all, definitely interesting standings, with the division and everything. So, yeah, anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. Sharks win 3-1, and they would move to 2-2 on the preseason. So I'll see you guys later, and yeah, go Sharks.